You've been taught the wrong way to keep your legs strong after the age of 60. For decades, doctors, health magazines, well-meaning family members, and even close friends have all told you the same thing. Just walk more. Walk every day. Get your steps in. Walking is the best exercise for seniors. And to be clear, walking is good. It's good for your heart. It's good for your mood. It's good for getting fresh air and clearing your mind. But here's the part no one really explains. There are millions of people over 60 who walk every single day and still feel their legs getting weaker. They hesitate before sitting in a low chair. They grip the handrail on stairs. They need their hands to push themselves up. So the problem isn't laziness. The problem isn't motivation. The problem is the type of movement. Walking has been praised as the gold standard of senior exercise. But when it comes to protecting your leg strength, your balance, and your independence, walking alone often isn't enough. That doesn't mean you failed, and it doesn't mean your body is broken. It means your muscles are asking for a different kind of signal. Today, I want to show you one simple seated movement that many orthopedic doctors quietly rely on, not as a workout, but as a measure of biological age. A movement that does more to protect your legs than daily walking alone. And one you can safely do at home, without equipment, even if your knees or hips aren't perfect. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this movement works, how to do it correctly, and how it can help you stay independent longer. Before we begin, I want to ask you something. How old are you? And has this video been helpful to you so far? Please share in the comments below. We do our best to read and respond to as many questions as possible. Thank you for spending your time with Senior Health Tips, Healthy Aging. Let's get started.
Number 4. Why walking alone doesn't protect your leg strength. Walking is one of the most familiar movements we have. You've been doing it your entire life, so it feels safe, natural, comfortable. And that's exactly the problem. Walking is a low-force, repetitive movement. Your body knows it well. When you repeat the same easy motion day after day, your muscles adapt quickly. Once they adapt, they stop changing. They stop getting stronger. Your body is incredibly efficient. It only keeps muscle when it believes that muscle is truly needed. Think of it this way. Imagine picking up the same light grocery bag every single day. At first, your arm feels the effort, but after a while, that bag feels weightless. Your muscles no longer get a signal to grow or even stay strong. They simply maintain the minimum required to do the job. That's what happens with walking after 60. Walking spreads the workload across many muscles at once, but none of them are truly challenged. Your thighs don't have to work against real resistance. Your hips aren't forced to generate power. Your glutes barely wake up. Gravity isn't demanding anything new from your legs. So even though you're moving, your muscles quietly receive the message, nothing extra is required. This is why so many dedicated walkers still struggle to stand up from a chair. It's why low sofas feel intimidating. It's why stairs slowly become something you avoid, not because you want to, but because your legs don't feel confident anymore. And this is important to understand. This has nothing to do with effort or discipline. Many of the people experiencing this are doing exactly what they were told. They show up, they walk daily, they stay consistent. But consistency with the wrong stimulus doesn't protect strength. Walking keeps you moving. It keeps your heart active, but it does not send a strong enough signal to your leg muscles to stay powerful as you age.
And that leads us to the real reason so many lifelong walkers still struggle with the simplest movement of all.
Number 3. Signs your legs are aging faster than your actual age.
Most people think aging legs come with pain, but the truth is, the earliest signs have nothing to do with pain at all. They show up quietly, in everyday moments you barely notice. One of the first signs is using your hands to stand up.
You push off the armrests. You press your palms against your thighs. It feels automatic, almost harmless. But that small habit is your body compensating. Another sign is avoiding low chairs. You scan the room and choose the highest seat without thinking about it. Deep couches suddenly feel uncomfortable, not because you don't like them, but because getting back up feels uncertain. Then there's the change in how you walk. Your steps become shorter. Your feet don't lift as high. You move carefully, not confidently. None of these changes happen overnight. They creep in slowly, which is why so many people dismiss them as just getting older. But here's what's really happening. These signs are closely tied to the muscles that control your ability to rise, step, and balance: your thighs, your glutes, and your hips. These muscles are designed to work against gravity. They're meant to push, lift, and stabilize your body. When they weaken, your body adapts. It finds shortcuts. It shifts the workload to your arms. It shortens your stride to stay safe. This isn't weakness, it's intelligence. Your nervous system is trying to protect you from falling. And that's why these signs matter so much. They appear long before a fall, long before a serious injury, long before independence feels threatened. Doctors often call these functional warning signs, signals that your muscles are no longer receiving the stimulus they need to stay strong. The good news is, muscles respond incredibly well when you give them the right signal, even later in life.
But here's the most important part. The most critical sign that your legs are aging faster than they should isn't the one most people are watching for. And once you understand what it is, you'll never look at a simple chair the same way again. Number 2. The movement that predicts longevity. Most people think of exercises as something you do to get fit, but in medicine, some movements are used very differently. They're used as signals, as measurements, as quiet indicators of how well your body is really functioning. The sit-to-stand movement is one of them. To most people, standing up from a chair feels ordinary, almost too simple to matter. But doctors see it differently. They don't see it as an exercise. They see it as a reflection of your biological age. Over the past several decades, researchers have followed thousands of adults over 50, tracking something surprisingly basic: how easily they could rise from a seated position and how well they could sit back down under control. The results were striking. Those who struggled with this movement, even without pain, were far more likely to experience falls, loss of independence, and serious health decline in the years that followed. Not because the chair was the problem, but because this single movement requires nearly every major system in your lower body to work together. Your thighs must generate force. Your glutes must drive your hips forward. Your calves stabilize your ankles. Your core keeps you balanced. Your nervous system coordinates it all in real time. When any part of that system weakens, the movement changes. People lean forward more. They use their hands. They rush the motion to get it over with. And that's exactly why doctors pay such close attention to it. Long-term studies have shown that the ability to stand up smoothly, without assistance, is one of the strongest predictors of long-term mobility and survival. Stronger than grip strength, stronger than walking speed, even stronger than some traditional fitness tests. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. Because unlike many health markers, this one is trainable. Your body can relearn this movement. Your muscles can respond. Your balance can improve, even later in life. And this brings us to the movement that orthopedic doctors care about more than almost any other. The seated movement they want every patient to be able to perform safely, confidently, and repeatedly. And that's where we're going next. Number 1. The seated movement that protects your legs better than walking. This is the movement that changes everything. Not because it looks impressive, not because it's complicated, but because it works with how the human body is actually designed to age. The sit-to-stand movement activates more critical systems at once than walking ever can. Your thighs generate force. Your glutes drive your hips forward. Your calves stabilize your ankles. Your core keeps you upright. And your balance system coordinates it all in real time. Most importantly, this movement works against gravity. Gravity is not your enemy, it's your training partner. Bones stay strong when they feel load. Muscles stay alive when they're challenged. Balance stays sharp when your body has to control itself, not just move forward. Walking keeps you in motion. Sit to stand teaches your body how to support itself. That's why orthopedic doctors favor this movement so strongly. They don't see it as exercise. They see it as preparation. Patients who can perform controlled sit-to-stands recover faster from joint surgeries. They experience fewer complications. They regain independence sooner. Strong legs and responsive balance give doctors more options and patients better outcomes. Rehabilitation specialists rely on this movement every single day for the same reason. It restores functional strength, the kind that transfers directly into real life. Standing up from bed, getting out of a car, rising from the toilet safely. And for people who fear falling, this movement is especially powerful. Falls rarely happen while walking forward on flat ground. They happen during transitions, standing up, sitting down, changing direction. Training this movement teaches your nervous system control, confidence, and timing. But here's the part almost everyone misses. The most important part of this movement is not when you stand up. It's when you lower yourself back down. That slow, controlled descent is where strength is built. It's where balance improves. It's where your muscles send a clear message to your bones: we're still needed. This single-seated movement protects your legs not by keeping you busy, but by teaching your body how to stay capable. And once you understand that, walking will never be your only strategy again. Common mistakes that quietly cancel your results. This movement is simple, but that's exactly why so many people do it wrong. The first mistake is moving too fast. You drop into the chair and pop back up without thinking. It feels efficient, it feels easier. But speed removes the very thing your body needs: control. When you rush, your muscles don't have time to engage. Your balance system doesn't have to work, and your bones barely feel any meaningful load. The fix is surprisingly simple. Slow everything down. Especially the way you sit back down. Count to 4 as you lower yourself. That slow descent is where strength is built. The second mistake is using your hands without realizing it. You push off the armrests, you press on your thighs, you tell yourself, it's just for balance. But your body is smart. The moment your hands help, your legs relax. They stop carrying their share of the work. Instead, cross your arms over your chest or rest them lightly at your sides. If you truly need support, that's okay. Use a chair behind you or a wall nearby. Support your safety, not the movement itself. The third mistake is thinking a few repetitions are enough. You do 3 or 4, feel a little tired, and assume the job is done. But muscles don't change from effort alone. They change from consistent signals. 1 or 2 reps tell your body, that was interesting. Repeated sets tell your body, this matters. Aim for controlled repetitions. Take breaks. Build up gradually over time. This isn't about pushing yourself to exhaustion. It's about sending your muscles a clear message over and over again. And here's the most important thing to remember. Doing this movement imperfectly
is still better than not doing it at all. Your body learns through repetition, not perfection. Small adjustments, steady practice. That's how strength quietly returns.
Getting older does not mean giving up your independence. It does not mean accepting weakness as your future, and it certainly does not mean your best years of movement are behind you. Aging is inevitable. Losing the ability to stand up on your own is not. The kind of strength we've talked about today isn't about lifting heavy weights or proving anything to anyone. It's about being able to live your life on your own terms. It's the confidence to rise from a chair without hesitation, the ease of walking across a room without fear, the quiet relief of knowing you don't need to rely on someone else for the basics of daily life. This is strength for living, not for showing off. Picture a future where getting up feels natural again, where stairs don't steal your breath, where you don't scan a room looking for the safe chair, where your body feels capable, not fragile. That future isn't built with extreme workouts or complicated routines. It's built with simple movements, done consistently, with intention. And the most encouraging part is this: your body responds at any age. Muscles can relearn, balance can improve, confidence can return. All it takes is giving your body the right signal, again and again. Now I'd love to hear from you. How old are you? And after watching this, did anything surprise you or feel familiar? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read as many as we can, and your experience helps others feel less alone. And if you're dealing with knee pain, hip stiffness, or joint discomfort, don't worry. In the next video, I'll show you a safer version of this movement, specifically designed for sensitive knees and hips. Thank you for spending your time with Senior Health Tips, Healthy Aging. Your strength matters, your independence matters, and it's never too late to protect both.